The gaming industry moves fast. Every month we're hit with new titles promising the biggest open worlds, the sharpest graphics, and the most explosive action. It's a constant arms race for attention. But sometimes you don't want the next adrenaline rush. You just want to breathe, to slow down, to play something chill. That's where cozy games come in. While still a niche corner of the industry, cozy games have quietly built a devoted following. Titles like Minecraft, Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, and even as far back as Harvest Moon have offered something different. Games that value comfort over chaos and creativity over competition. And just when I found myself needing that kind of experience again, along came Wanderstop, a new cozy game. Or at least, that's what they want you to think.
I can stop running. This is good for me. I need to enjoy this. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Wanderstop is, on the surface, a simple game about running a tea shop in a magical clearing deep in the woods. You play as Alta, a once celebrated professional fighter who spent her entire career undefeated until now. After suffering a brutal loss streak, Alta sets out to rediscover her edge. Her journey leads her deep into the wilderness in search of Master Winters, a legendary figure who might hold the key to getting her back on track. But the path isn't kind. Alta becomes lost, her strength fading, and her sword too heavy to carry. She eventually wakes up at Wanderstop, a quaint tea shop tucked away in the forest run by a gentle and eccentric man named Boro. He invites her to rest, to stay a while, and maybe, just for now, help him run the shop. With nowhere else to turn, Alta begrudgingly agrees. And just like that, the stage is set. A weary warrior trading her sword for a teapot. Let the cozy begin. So how does Wanderstop actually play? In short, very simply. The core loop revolves around making tea. You'll gather tea leaves and dry them, cultivate plants to harvest flavorful fruits, and then use a whimsical Willy Wonka-style contraption to brew each cup. The machine requires you to fill water, pump the bellows, toss in ingredients, kick open hatches, and finally pour the tea. It's charming in a deliberately clunky kind of way. Customers occasionally arrive at the clearing, each with a goofy little anecdote or request. To serve them, you'll consult your trusty almanac to figure out which fruits match their needs, grow the right plants, and run through the tea-making ritual all over again. Outside of that, you can trim weeds, sweep up fallen leaves, or decorate the shop with trinkets and houseplants. You can even snap photos to hang on the walls, adding a personal flair to your cozy little tea shop. The gameplay is slow, intentional, and easy to settle into. If it seems like there isn't a lot going on here from a gameplay standpoint, that's because there really isn't. The core loop of serving tea to customers can feel repetitive, the farming mechanics are minimal, and the side tasks, while quaint, don't have any real gameplay impact. Even decorating feels oddly disconnected. The glade resets at the end of each day, wiping away anything you've placed, aside from the pictures that you hang on the wall. The simplicity, paired with the optional content that lacks staying power, forms my biggest critique of Wanderstop. Most cozy games offer some sense of progression, whether it's expanding a farm, unlocking new furniture, customizing a home, and so on. Wanderstop doesn't really have that. You talk to customers, you serve tea, that's about it. Sure, you can sweep leaves or trim weeds, but there's no reason to. You can decorate, but it all disappears by morning. While that stripped back design might serve the cozy aesthetic, I can't help but feel it's a little too cozy, and maybe just a bit undercooked. At first glance, Wanderstop might seem repetitive and even boring, but that's exactly where the narrative steps in. Unlike most cozy games, Wanderstop has something deeper on its mind. Beneath the routine of brewing tea and sweeping leaves, there's a quiet, powerful story unfolding. one that uses that very repetition to say something meaningful. By the end of it, that message lands, not with a dramatic twist, but with a kind of emotional weight that sticks with you. It's subtle, artistic, and surprisingly impactful. It makes sense then that Wanderstop was written by Davey Wreden, the mind behind the Stanley Parable and the Beginner's Guide. Like those games, Wanderstop uses familiar mechanics, this time the language of cozy games, to explore something much more personal and profound. That atmosphere is supported beautifully by the soundtrack, an ambient, melancholic score composed by Daniel Rosenfeld, the artist behind Minecraft's iconic music. Alta isn't exactly thrilled to be working at Wanderstop. She's a fighter, trained, disciplined, and driven. She came to these woods to rebuild her strength, not to pour tea for chatty strangers. She doesn't like tea. She doesn't like the customers. And she certainly doesn't want to slow down. All she wants is to recover, get out, and return to being the person she believes she's supposed to be. But as the days pass and the routine sets in, Wanderstop begins to shift focus inward. Through Boro's gentle wisdom, the strange little stories from customers, quiet moments of reflection, and striking comic book style cutscenes, we start to explore Alta's mind and the emotional weight she's carrying. The game quietly dives into themes of burnout, trauma, recovery, and change, and it does so with surprising elegance. The pacing of the narrative aligns beautifully with the simplicity of the gameplay. The repetition you feel as a player is intentional. This is as repetitive for Alta as it might be for you. Like her, you begin to wonder what it's all for. Wanderstop may look like just another cozy game, but it's not here to comfort you in the usual ways. Instead, it gently challenges the ideas of constant productivity, rigid self-identity, and the pressure to always be on. It's about what happens when the life you've built no longer serves you, and whether it's okay to step away from it. When I realized that my final day at Wanderstop was coming to a close, I took one last slow lap around the clearing. And to my surprise, I felt sad. I didn't want it to end. The game had wrapped me in its world, and letting it go felt like saying goodbye to something I didn't know I needed. Wanderstop won't be for everyone. The gameplay is intentionally light, and the repetition might push some players away. But if you're open to a slower, more introspective experience, one that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll, Wanderstop has something worth experiencing. So go pick it up, brew yourself a cup of tea, get cozy, and enjoy.